Hey everyone, my name is Matthew Arndt, and this is my self reflection on the making of my short film, Repeat. This was a really exciting project for me because I love psychological thrillers and sci fi concepts that mess with time and reality. Repeat is about a man trapped in a 2 minute time loop where small details change each time, making things feel more unsettling until he realizes he's stuck forever. I wanted to explore how little shifts in reality can make things feel completely off, and how time loops can go from intriguing to terrifying. Pre production was a huge learning experience for me. Writing the script was fun because I got to play around with how each loop would slightly change. I knew I wanted the tension to build gradually rather than making the changes too obvious right away. Storyboarding helped me map out the repetition and camera angles. Since I was both the actor and the only one handling the camera, I had to be really strategic about how I framed each shot. Keeping track of continuity between loops was really going to be hard, so I had to keep locations simple. Speaking of locations, I kept everything really low budget. I filmed it in my living room, right outside my front door, and in the entryway. The idea was to make it feel like a normal, familiar space, but with the looping and small, unsettling details making it feel wrong over time. It actually worked out because the confined space added to the feeling of being trapped. One thing I didn't expect was how much planning goes into even a short film. Even though it's only a few minutes long, making sure every detail aligned between loops was harder than I thought. Filming was where things really got tough. Since I was the main character and the only one allowed to work the camera, I had to constantly go back and forth, hit record, run into position, act, then rush back to check the footage. And then I'd realize something was slightly off and I'd have to redo the whole thing. It made simple shots take way longer than I expected. On top of that, I really underestimated how tricky it is to shoot in low light. I wanted the film to have a dim, eerie atmosphere, but that made it hard for the camera to focus properly. A lot of shots came out blurry, and I had to keep adjusting the lighting just to get a clear image, while still keeping the mood I wanted. There were times when I thought I had a great take, only to realize it was completely out of focus. Another challenge was keeping track of small details between loops. Since every loop needed slight differences, I had to be super careful about where objects were placed. There were a few moments where I finished a take, checked the footage, and realized something had moved when it wasn't supposed to, so I had to reset and film again. And at one point, my camera battery died in the middle of a take, which kind of threw my momentum off. One of the biggest things I've learned was how much lighting affects mood. I had to experiment a lot to get the right look while still keeping the camera in focus. Another thing I'm proud of is how I use subtle camera angle changes to make each loop feel progressively more unsettling. The space didn't change, but shifting the perspective just a little bit made it feel like something was off. I also got way more comfortable with editing. Matching cuts between loops to make everything feel seamless was a challenge, but I think it really helped sell the idea that time was repeating. Sound design played a huge role too. Adding slight distortions and changes to the background noise made the loops feel more unnatural. If I had to do this again, I'd spend even more time planning each shot in detail before filming. I underestimated how much time continuity checks would take. Next time, I'd also experiment more with sound design early on instead of adding everything in post. Also, I would try to get someone else to help with the camera, if possible. Being both the actor and the only person handling the camera made things way harder than I expected. It made simple shots take way longer, and it was frustrating when I thought I nailed it, only to realize that the focus was off. Overall, this project taught me how even a short film takes a lot of thought and effort. It also reinforced how much I love storytelling through visuals and editing. I'm excited to take what I've learned here and apply it to future projects. I want to give a huge thanks to everyone who gave me feedback. Even though I worked solo on this, knowing people were excited to see the final product kept me motivated. And for anyone thinking about making their own short film, just do it. Even if things don't go as planned, you'll learn so much from the process. Also expect things to go wrong because they definitely will. Thanks for watching my reflection video. Hope you all enjoyed Repeat, and I can't wait to see what everyone else created. See you soon.